Winner. It's goal! Celtic has scored!
Hello and welcome back to Voice of the Boys, episode number 13.
Go for it.
Any number 13 you can think of?
No, it's like
Aaron
there you go.
boy.
Naturally,
Daddy cool, what a man.
I can't even think of somebody that played last season. My memory is brilliant.
It's been a long week. Should we touch on the game at the weekend as usual, rattle through that. Livingston 0, Celtic 3. The goal scorers Hatate with a penalty, O'Reilly and Maeda, with Maeda probably the hardest chance of the game he scored.
I know he does this though. He always takes the hardest chance, makes it look absolutely easy, and makes all the easy stuff look hard.
Greg Taylor looking like his old self again, played out his skin. I think
Played
he even
brilliant.
got an SPL team of the week. I think it was. I think they do the team of the week and you pick the players.
He got in Scottish Players Team of the Week as well.
Yeah. O'Reilly again playing out his skin and looking to have stepped up
Looking
his
like
game
our
under
most
Rodgers.
valuable player.
We'll come on to that. Maeda non-stop running as much as usual. As much as he missed a couple of sitters, he scored a brilliant chance at the end. Brendan Rodgers said when you go down to 10 men and have Dyson in your team, you're not really going down to 10 men at all.
That's true, you've got 12.
More or less.
You start off with 12, so you're doing it
Wee
all.
Duracell bunny's doing us proud. I think, looking at it, I think that there's times where I'm watching Maeda and he picks up the ball and he drives it well, but then the pass lets him down because he's almost like taking that extra touch and move that extra step forward. But as we've said, if he had an end product, he wouldn't probably be at
Oh,
Celtic.
if we had an end product, he'd be like one of the top 100 wingers of the world or something, because he'd be absolutely exceptional. You know, if he could finish the ball, he had the pace he had and the movement he had, he'd be absolutely playing for Real Madrid or something.
Negatives, Joe Hart sending off means he'll be out for 2 matches in the league, so we've
No.
stopped playing at the weekend.
I'd just like to appreciate that that's Joe Hart's first red card in like 750 games of his full career. Fair enough, you know what? He done it in style, flying drop kick. He'd been practising that at the
And
weekend.
do you remember Craig Gordon done it?
I remember Craig Gordon.
That was more or less like 6 or 7 years to the day that Craig Gordon had done
Yeah,
it. It
yeah.
was actually like more or less like in the
No,
same
actually,
bar
I know that I actually do remember Craig Gordon doing it actually.
against Alloa.
He's not wearing that. We're wearing that. Was the bright yellow fluorescent yellow?
No, it was a home against Alloa. It was like
No, not us. Craig Gordon.
Oh yeah,
The goalkeeper guy was like bright yellow because there's a picture of him jumping out.
Yeah. Liam Scales and Gustav Lagerbielke, as said by us previously, can't deal with a ball over the top.
No, they can't.
So
no,
if
you
you've-
did say that, you did say
If
that.
you've seen this in TikTok or whatever, we have said for weeks, Liam Scales is doing well, really well, and we're really happy with Liam Scales.
Yeah.
But a ball over the top.
A ball over the top is struggles with.
Going back to the Matt O'Reilly. Now this is obviously that's us run through positives and negatives of the game. We'll touch on the goals. Hatate for the penalty drives into the box, does really well to get into the box, brought down, penalty kick. It's quite a soft penalty that he scores, but do you know what? It's a penalty, it's a goal.
Yeah.
Matt O'Reilly's goal. Kyogo crossed the ball into the box and it
Just start the second
hits
half.
off Maeda's backside and kind of falls to O'Reilly. And
Falls to it, and he takes the chance really well. It's something he'd been missing for a couple of weeks.
I think that's something we'll touch on after talking about the Maeda goal, and the Maeda ones. The brilliant ran, cut back, and then scored from 30 odd yard out, and he should have done that. He could have scored more chances, but with the Riley thing you're saying, he's probably Celtic's biggest asset and our biggest player at the moment. Value wise, you've been on TikTok giving a wee debate I've seen on the comments.
Yeah, that guy's. I would like to say that guy had helped you make a valid point until he stopped making a valid point. Look, I think Rio Hatate did a really poor game at the weekend. It was backed by a lot of Celtic fans on Twitter, a lot of Celtic fans on Facebook agreed with me, and the stats agreed with me. He played like a 4.2 out of 10 in the full game. And Chris was trying to say he was brilliant.
I didn't think he was that bad. I thought he was getting a lot of stick.
You said he was brilliant.
I didn't think he was that bad. I think he was getting a lot of stick. I've got actually a stat about Hatate I'll read out in a minute.
But that game in general.
That game in general wasn't his best game.
I think the game he had the most ball losses. He'd given the ball away, the most misplaced passes.
Can I ask a question? Do you think Hatate's had a poor start to the season?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so Hatate's played 139 minutes so far this season. He's got 151 touches. He's got a passing accuracy of 74%. Ball recovery is 8, and he scored. So it's not.
He scored one goal.
Yeah, he's obviously. Yeah, it was the one weekend. So it's not the worst.
Yeah, but that's fair enough, right? Fair enough.
There's your stats.
But if we're looking at Rio Hatate and you're saying he can play in the Premier League,
I still think he can.
that's not what it is.
I think I think Katate's it's not 100% fit yet. I did say that after the final game.
Right.
I think time will be the telling of that. I think games we will touch on coming up that we've got wrote down and things like that, and we won't talk. This won't be the last time talking about Hatate, but we will touch on that in a moment as well. Why we need to talk about Hatate again, even though you don't want to, but it's been reported by a quite reliable source. I think Hatate is one of these guys who needs to take his time to get up to full fitness, and once you see him in full fitness, will be brilliant. But
no, I agree. But then if you're
agree.
saying that a guy like that shouldn't be starting in final, which is arguably one of your biggest games of the season, European wise, it's your biggest game of the season. He shouldn't be starting. If he's not fit, David Turnbull, a guy who's fit, or even Thiago Holm, who's fit, obviously came on messed up, should be starting. I agree.
Yeah, but I also agreed with you about the Matt O'Reilly thing. I think Matt O'Reilly's I think Matt O'Reilly's one of these guys who's proven under Rodgers. Rodgers, I think, is probably, and O'Reilly's one of these guys who's getting on with Rodgers better than he got on with Ange.
I think his dad. He's like now he's got the father-son relationship. I'm not a big fan of O'Reilly last season.
I did always tell you the top assists. We always me and Jack
always had this
debate, and Jack was like, and I said O'Reilly kind of goes under the radar. He's still got your most assists and things like that, and I think he's bringing something into his game now where Rodgers have probably told him, look. Now, if you remember correctly, O'Reilly used to write that goal in the cup final, and the first goal against Rangers at Celtic Park. O'Reilly picks the ball up, he drives to the byline, cuts it back, and ball's in the back of the net. And it's one of those things that Matt O'Reilly's more making the assists, whereas now I think the play style we've got allows O'Reilly to probably sit and round where that penalty spot is, and when the ball does drop to him, for example, his goal at the weekend, he's just going to place it in the back. I
think it was very apparent in the game against St Johnstone where he missed three chances. That was the thing that he was trying to do with him, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Hopefully, I think it'll go well.
So Hatate, and we're going to touch on this quickly because I've not really wrote down. Obviously, I wrote these notes on Monday. Anthony Ralston's got a new contract to 2027.
I like it. As a backup, I was a wee bit bewildered, but then I was listening to some Celtic things, and I heard somebody saying, well, look, you've got Alistair Johnston as your first choice. There's no doubt about that. Alistair Johnston is your first choice right now. He's a big part of the team, an integral part of the team. Look at them in the money we've spent in backup centre backs. Would you be willing to go and spend £2 or £3 million on a backup right back? Look, we've done it well. We did it with Bernabani, wherever he is. Would you be willing to do it with a backup right back when you've got a guy there who's coming up at the end of that contract? He'll have been at Celtic for 20 years. Been there since he was 8. Are you willing to say, look, we're going to get somebody that's so much better?
There's different things, like he was at a point, he was playing in the Scotland team, he scored for Scotland and things like that. I think Ange definitely got the better of his football out of him. But watching him previously, before Ange, I thought he was absolutely rotten, and even at the tail end of Ange, I was like, we're seeing the old Ralston again. This is someone that we need in the team. I think with the coefficient getting harder and harder and harder to meet each year for Celtic, and as much as we joked and you buckled and peed yourself at the fact of Ryan Fraser, Ryan Fraser is someone we would have over Yang, Forrest.
Well, and yeah, true, we know that, but
and
at
he
the
also
time,
would take the coefficient, man.
Yeah, at the time though we didn't. You know, at the time we didn't know Yang was going to come in and be Yang.
So I think that Anthony Ralston kind of ticks that box, that we've got someone who's homegrown, he meets the remarks for UEFA. We've had to leave a $4 million left back out in Bernabeu because Ralston. So
I don't think he's the worst. I don't think he's the worst. Like he's not starting quality. I said this. I don't think he's starting quality, and he's definitely not European quality. But as a backup, a guy that can come in, and a guy that if you need to do a job, you know he's going to give 100%. You know, it might be a wee bit off the mark, but he's not going to stop running. He's not going to stop going into tackles. He's a guy who he kind of bleeds Celtic.
I think as well. We've kind of lost since Scott Brown left the team a sort of voice and leader. And I've seen him come on against Rangers.
Which is kind of weird because of Callum McGregor, isn't it?
Callum McGregor and I think Alistair Johnston are only two.
Yeah.
I think maybe
and
Carter
sometimes
Vickers,
I think Callum McGregor can go a wee bit.
Yeah, I was about to say Carter Vickers is on and off. I think
Yeah.
sometimes Carter Vickers leads the back line really well, but sometimes I'm looking for Carter Vickers to show that more. I've seen it. Do you know what I mean? That goal we got, the second goal at Ibrox, him and Alistair Johnston are punching the air and things like that.
And then you bring in a guy who's played in the Premier League, won the Champions League, and you go, well, won the Champions League, he was there, and you go, well, you know what, you might be a bit of a leader, and he's injured.
We'll touch on him. He's
I know, but you guys keep saying we'll touch on it later. If I make a point, we need to talk about it.
Yeah,
touch on it later.
But he's not our leader.
No,
we'll touch on
we
him.
were hoping he would come in, and we're hoping that he'd take charge of the back line and be a leader.
Yeah, but he's
You
not
know
a
he's
leader.
no. Oh, we don't know because he's done.
No, but when he was at Liverpool, he was the passing.
Yeah, but look how many players have we seen come from England who weren't leaders and then come to Scotland. I don't think Scott Sinclair was essentially a leader when he was in England, but he came to Scotland and he led the squad.
Yeah, but not he led it with goals, but he didn't.
No, but he was enthusiastic. He was always spurring people on. He was.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Sometimes, come on.
But I agree with that. But I've also seen guys come from England and be passengers up here again.
Yeah.
That came from England.
Go.
Do you want me to name them? Just Dedrick Boyata, there's one.
Yeah, he was a young guy.
He was a young guy, yeah. And then he left us and then became a captain at Club Brugge. Nah, well.
Young guy.
Keep
going.
So there's one I've named that just went on to be a captain after he left Celtic. I can keep going if you like. Guys,
that's all he's got. Yeah, I do agree, but look, I think at the same time, look, they brought in Nat Phillips because of he's not too young, he's not too old, but he's played in the big games, and we thought that like maybe he can come in with a wee bit of experience, and usually with experience comes leadership. Correct?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right, so and it's not worked out because he's injured, so we don't know. He might be the best leader we've seen, and he's injured. So
but I personally don't think that he is one.
That's fair.
We will probably see more in the future with Nat Phillips, and we've got Lazio.
You also personally thought we'd beat St Johnstone 5-0.
Me? Oh yeah, I
I'm
did.
kidding,
And I do believe that.
I'm kidding.
See, anytime
You got the last one. You got the last prediction right. So we'll
anytime we go to Celtic Park, I believe we should be winning the high score.
I believe that we will win.
So, Hatate, Stephen McGowan's reported that Hatate's contract is now resumed. Obviously, I've just read out the stats and they don't look that bad.
How the stats look and how he's playing are two totally different things. Look, I think, yeah, he's a good player. I said last week, and I'll stand by it. I don't think he's any better. He's any better player than Matt Riley or Callum McGregor.
Do you know what it's like? You were sitting there and you were like, I can't wait to see him ping passes against Feyenoord.
I was buzzing, right? I was so buzzing.
Like a Wayne at Christmas, right? Who's went downstairs and the buzzing.
Aye, and I wanted a puppy and I opened it and the puppy's dead. Aye, I know that. But look.
No, you get socks. And
he's came back. He's came back.
And there's a bike wrapped up.
And they came back, and the thing about it to me is the problem has been, right, is you know there's a player there and you know the way he should be playing. And the problem with me isn't really with Rio Hatate. See, if he's not fit, why is he playing? Aye, improves that he speeds up the midfield, which is needed. But if a guy's not fit, he's not fit. You're not going to improve the team or look any better putting a guy in that isn't 100% up to even 70% up to speed.
I absolutely agree. And I think, and as I say to you,
when he's 100% up to speed, he's the best midfielder we've got when he's 100% up to speed.
But what did I say? Paulo Bernardo should start against.
Oh, Paulo Bernardo should be playing.
And he should have. Was it saying? Dundee it was the 3-0. I says Paulo Bernardo should start this. And I even done a wee wink to TikTok and all that. I says Paulo Bernardo should start and Hatate should get the last 20 minutes. But as proven, Hatate came on in the last 20 minutes in that game, done really, really well. We went to Rotterdam and he was shocking. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, Motherwell away. Because we've touched on the Livingston game. We've lost him. Right, you want to read it?
Yeah. So Motherwell sitting 6 points after 10 games. 6 games, 10 points, which is pretty good for Motherwell. We know over the last couple of years Motherwell have got the lowest budget, one of the lowest budgets in the Scottish Premiership. They basically work on a budget of nothing. They've got a very good chairman and board who do quite a lot for the local community, unlike some. They give tickets to a lot of underprivileged people, and I think Motherwell, the foundation of Motherwell, the idea of Motherwell as a football club.
Hopefully a few for the weekend then. Hopefully he has a few for the weekend then.
And a really good, honestly, really good team. The last game they played was at Ibrox and they lost 1-0. From the way the talk was in that game, whoever the other team were, don't know who they are, didn't play very well. But Motherwell didn't put up a terrible performance. They didn't. They were pretty
the team
tight.
that they were playing actually got booed off the park.
Exactly,
after
but apparently still Motherwell were pretty tight at the back. They didn't give up much and they weren't pretty poor. We obviously are playing at Fir Park, so you might see a slightly different Motherwell. I don't see it though. I think they're going to play pretty defensive. They're going to try what St Johnstone done. They're going to try what teams like Dundee done. Look to be playing a 3-5-2. Stephen O'Donnell playing. Stephen O'Donnell, he's back. That main man.
He plays a big role down the right hand side.
He plays a big role down the right hand side. We know he's played. He went on a run where he got it was like consistent caps for Scotland.
Well, we've seen that with the wing back position.
And now
you've got Hickey and Patterson.
So look, he's no mug. He's probably not the best. He's not a world beater here, but he's not a mug.
If you're talking about leaders in that Motherwell team, Stephen O'Donnell.
There you go, Stephen O'Donnell. Crucial players. No, I do agree with a couple of these. They've got a couple of big guys. Beavis McGabby. He is always quite solid at the back.
Liam Kelly in goals.
Liam Kelly, now, we know someone who really doesn't like Liam Kelly. That's a story for another time.
Lennon Miller, who he's the breakthrough youth star in the centre mid role.
Lennon Miller, baller.
Did you know?
I don't
Do you know other ones?
I don't know who, I know who Blair Spittle is, I know who Callum Slattery is.
Theo,
I don't know who Lennon Miller is.
Theo Bear they got from St Johnstone.
Theo Bear.
Now this is something quite interesting,
Theo Bear.
right?
Theo
Stuart Kettlewell obviously looks to bring on an extra striker at just after the hour mark, and Ollie Shaw. Ollie Shaw was at Ross County and Hibs.
Yeah.
So Stuart Kettlewell looks to bring that in. Stuart Kettlewell is one of these managers that you could definitely see take the next step in the SPL. He done no bad at up in Dingwall. They've obviously replaced him with Malky Mackay, who looks as if he could be on his way out. Stuart Kettlewell then got the Motherwell job, and he's done no bad at Motherwell.
Well, he's sitting in fourth after 6 games, which...
And go through usually the top 6, right? It's good Celtic and Rangers from this. You've got... Your top 6 are usually 2 Edinburgh clubs. I would say Aberdeen.
Yeah.
And if they were in the league, I would probably say Dundee United have to be up there, just because the difference in finances and things like that. I've seen the budget-wise, Dundee United...
Recently has been like Livingston, though.
Right. Livingston won't get rid of Martindale, right?
No.
So the other 3 clubs, the 2 Edinburgh ones and the Aberdeen one, could you see Kettlewell in any of these teams? I could see him in all 3.
Oh yeah, well definitely. I think look, the thing is about somebody like Stuart Kettlewell is he's working on nothing at Motherwell. Let's be honest, the budget he's working on is minimal, even compared to teams like Aberdeen, Hearts or Hibs. But often you find when somebody suits the style of play at Motherwell, it happened with Stuart McCall. He fit it really well and he was brilliant at Motherwell. He finished second.
I
remember he finished second with a last minute goal.
They got a Champions League spot as well.
Last minute goal.
Yeah.
But then Stuart McCall went other places, and that's where it went downhill for Stuart McCall. So look,
he's at Sheffield
We
United.
were watching a game and he's just stunned on the sideline.
He's at Sheffield United, but this is why he's at Sheffield United. He was Sheffield United under Warnock, and now he's back there. Now I've 2 things. We'll touch on this.
I do agree. He could go somewhere else. Whether it would work somewhere else is a totally different story. But you probably will see him the next year get a bigger move.
For the weekend, Scott Bain looked as if he's going to play for Celtic, obviously, because Joe Hart's out. Benjamin Siegrist not even in contention for the long haul.
I heard Benjamin Siegrist was away on the beach on a wee cocktail.
No, well, this is the thing, right? He was in the squad photo,
Yeah, I seen that,
and they've even put James McCarthy in the squad photo. So yeah,
Was Baird in it?
Yeah, he's in it. James McCarthy's not in it.
Aye, Baird was swaying all about the place.
Stand up, Alex!
Stand up! Oh. What's this? That's my passport for you.
Stand down. Bain will be in goals. Nat Phillips is back in contention. Brendan Rodgers says he's back in contention for the weekend. So
Nat Phillips.
we can get 45 minutes at him, and probably a latter will come
You
on.
get what, 45 minutes, he'll roll his ankle.
And he'll roll his ankle, and that'll be him
Away
out.
from off games.
Cameron Carter-Vickers
Bad news. Can we have
out.
a moment of silence? Right, okay. Right, okay, go
He's
for it.
out until the end of October by the looks of it. So after
There was
international
talking
break.
about him being back after the last
They say,
international break, and he was maybe
So now
back
he's back.
for these games, and he's back next international
He's
break.
back after next after.
Sometimes I wonder if we'll actually ever see Carter Vickers again.
I miss you. Come back. So it looks as if Motherwell at the weekend.
Excuse me, do you take refunds?
I think it will be the usual sort of team. Liam Scales and Nat Phillips is going to be your 2 centre halves, and I think Nat Phillips will come off.
Yeah, I'm going to say it this time.
Yep.
I feel confident.
Good man.
I feel
Good
confident.
man.
You know me.
Come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it if I didn't feel it. I think I feel confident.
Good.
I feel Motherwell sitting in 4th, and I feel that Motherwell are going to. I know they're going to play slightly defensive. But I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to partake in this absolute rubbish like the rest of the team. I think Motherwell will actually try and play, like you said, the 5. They'll try and play that vital role, Stephen O'Donnell down the right, and they'll try and play down the left.
Good.
They've got a young midfielder. With them having a young midfielder, this is where I feel. Look, we've got 3 guys in there. 3 guys. No matter who your 3 guys are, could be Rio Hatate, could be Aladdin for all I care on his magic carpet, right? They guys should be a good enough quality to overpower that Motherwell midfield, especially if they play a 5-3-2. 3 in midfield, they should be enough to overpower them. And then we're looking to find the gaps to exploit. In the way we're playing, Matt Riley will exploit the gaps. Callum McGregor, I don't know so much. He'll be playing the 6 probably, so he'll be just doing what he does, picking up the ball and going for reruns. You know, fair enough. If he does that and he does it well, congratulations to him. The other one in midfield, probably going to be Rio Hatate.
I think we're going to definitely. I think we're definitely going to exploit this weak midfield that you're on.
Yeah.
Lennon Miller's a great player, and he looks to be starting well for them.
Definitely.
But perfectly honest, as you've rightly said, I think the midfield will exploit. I know what you're saying about Cal McGregor. I think the leadership role will come in there though. First Parker was never easy.
Never easy.
But I think it's going to be one of these ones that we just kind of steamroll and go for it.
Yeah, I do agree. Look at that midfield, it's the best they've been playing in weeks, apart Discord Feyenoord, which in the first half they didn't actually play too bad. They didn't play too badly. I think this is the strongest we've been in weeks. We're starting to see it come together. And I think, I don't want to say it too early, but you can start to see something coming. Weeks ago you were raging because there was nothing there, you couldn't see what he was trying. Yeah. But now I'm starting to see the same style of play in a couple of games, even at Feyenoord. I wasn't too disappointed in the first half, honestly. But I think it's starting to come together, and when it starts to come together, Brendan said it himself, you know, we're going to start to see a wee bit more certainty and a wee bit more conviction for the players, and usually conviction means that we're going to score a couple of more goals.
Correct. Lazio.
Get me pundit in Sky Sports or something. Lazio right. At home.
Disregard this.
Which is what day again?
So Lazio at home is next Wednesday. I think it's the 4th, I want to say, of October. So this is, we're now recording this in 6 days' time. We've got Lazio. We will touch on things like that, and we'll read through the Lazio stats and we'll touch on the Celtic bit. So Lazio played last night and beat Torino 2-0.
Yep.
So Lazio have had a poor start to the season. This was typed out on the Monday. They now have played 6 games and they're sitting on 7 points. I couldn't tell you where they're sitting on the table, but I had the notifications on to see how they got on last night.
7 out of a possible 18 points.
This is the best time to play them. 2 wins and 1 draw. And we've got them at Celtic Park and we know what happened there last time. Let's run through the sort of team.
Nothing.
Everyone falling over barriers and that.
It's going to make a joke there, but...
In our group, they're in our group, and obviously they drew the first game 1-1 at home against Atletico Madrid, so they weren't.
And let's not talk about Atletico Madrid scores at the weekend.
No, we'll not touch on that. We'll not that. Don't need to talk about that. And their goalkeeper Providel got the late equaliser.
I know, scoring goals.
Maurizio Sarri looks to be under pressure, especially in the Italian media in Rome. They seem to be firing quite a bit of pressure on in a lot of newspaper outlets and things like that.
Let's be honest, they're all crazy.
Key men include
Roman Galoni.
He probably is the best player.
How the hell would you say it? Romagnoli?
Romagnoli,
that's it.
I think he's probably their best player. They've got a couple of ones there that you'll recognise. Hysaj, I recognise, he played for Albania in the World Cup.
And, well, I'd probably say either Romagnoli or Luis Alberto. You know, Luis Alberto was, how long has he been going to
Luis Alberto.
He's been about the gaff for about 25 years.
Ciro Mobley, he's still there.
Ciro Mobley.
He's
hopefully not as fast as he used to be.
No, I think that's the thing that we're
going to touch on. That would be the worrying thing, balls over the top. He's running behind.
They've got Guendouzi on loan from Marseille. Kamada they've signed. Pedro's there.
Guendouzi? He's still got an afro?
Yeah, well, not afro, but kind of frizzy here. Pedro's still there.
He's looking like Sideshow Bob for The Simpsons.
Pedro, Felipe Anderson, who was at West Ham.
Felipe Anderson.
He's went back to Lazio. He went from Lazio
to West Ham. Back to Lazio.
Obviously, at the weekend...
It's a good question, actually.
At the weekend, obviously, they played Monza. They drew 1-1. Last night, they played Torino and beat them 2-0.
Well, let's be honest, Torino, if it was like Juventus or something, I'd be shaking my boots, but it's Torino.
In the league, this is a good thing, right? In the league, they've only scored 7 goals and they've had 8 against. So now my question is at the bottom, is there a better time to play them? Now, we've obviously sat here very sour after Feyenoord, me trying to keep the fire alight and keep the camp reassurance up and keep us all motivated.
Let me just be honest with you.
Go.
It all comes down to whether we can score goals in Europe.
Correct.
That's it, and that's all it is. I'm sorry, no, that's it. Can we score a goal? I said that I was winding up the Celtic fans obviously we're Celtic fans, but I was winding them up on the Celtic page on Facebook. It was the day after Aberdeen were playing. Aberdeen scored against Frankfurt. And I went, look, there you go, Aberdeen scoring in Europe, doing something we can't do. It's a joke, obviously. And everybody was raging in the comments. Why do you not go support Aberdeen? I was getting called certain things of other teams in Glasgow. I was just winding everything up. It was a good laugh, you know. Why not? but
this is the thing though. I genuinely, we walk out of a group stage and you play 6 games. We scored 3 goals in the Champions League last year after 6 games.
One against Shakhtar, one against Leipzig, one against Madrid. Free kick against Madrid. Jota against Leipzig, and then Shakhtar.
But look, I think that throw it the window. he might actually come back.
But
I think it's going to be more direct. I said at Celtic Park, I think they're going to go for it more.
you have to be. If you're going out to Celtic Park and you're not having the majority of possession and you're not actually creating chances, the crowd's going to go on your back.
I know they've got a lot of big names there. I've said Kamada, Guendouzi and things like that, but I genuinely believe if Hatate is fit and we're all there, our midfield.
We're all there. Lagerbielk's at the back playing with his Tonka trucks.
He can't play.
Oh, he's saying so we've got Thiago.
So you've literally got, this is what I was going to say,
Phillips.
you've got your midfield three of Hatate, who's now fully fit, ready to go, O'Reilly and McGregor. Your two centre backs are either going to be Nat Phillips, hopefully if he doesn't roll his ankle again in Scales, and if Nat Phillips isn't fit, yep.
No.
Aye, that's what it is though.
Alistair Johnson.
And the right centre back, and then
Ralston. Come on, that's.
Well, we've said that, but it's not happened. It's never happened.
Oh, I know, but I can't see how it go wrong.
Who?
Save from Alistair Johnson, maybe overcommitting sometimes a wee bit. But look, can't be any worse than no knowing how to track a run or track the ball through there.
Said that, but anyway, no. I think it'll be Nat Phillips if he's not got injured against Motherwell, and Liam Scales, Taylor, and Johnston. Midfield three, I've just said, Hatate, O'Reilly, McGregor, and then your front three probably is going to be Diaz Maeda, Kyogo, and Palmer. Now, as much as who else are you going to play?
I agree, but like it's just that front three. You saying that front three isn't filling me with hope.
Now, who doesn't he? Palmer take it?
Aye, wee bit.
Because
I don't want to sound everything with my back. He's just signed. What you saying? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I
just really miss that one man.
Jota?
No, fuck Jota. Abada, no Jota. Abada. Right.
Just vandal the place.
No, Abada. I think Abada would have been pivotal. Look,
There
do
should
you
be a Abada
know what my
in
problem
these
is with
games. Right, when you
Celtic?
go.
I'm looking at it and I'm sitting here and I'm going, why would Celtic ever have a Champions League group stage where we're only hampered by absolute monstrosities?
No.
The injuries or whatever's
We did
happening.
last year.
Whatever's happening. Oh, no.
The only players that got
I
injured
know,
last year were
I know.
McGregor and Jota, and you had enough. No, but you had enough replacement in your team. You had Haksabanovic, Shabada.
Oh, well. I'm not talking about Haksabanovic. It's like,
dancing that away.
I mean, for those who know what's happening with Haksabanovic, I'm not.
Hope he enjoys Stoke. What Jinky's up to in Stoke? Jinky's been in like a supermarket and that yet.
Raindrops keep falling on my dancing down the main street with his kebab and
No, he's gritty teeth in and all that. Oh, he's an idiot. Get rid of him. Out.
Well, look.
James Forrest might play. He started at the weekend.
We Lewis Palmer. But at the end of the day, look, Lewis Palmer, I don't know, does he have to start on the left and Diaz Maeda on the right?
No, you could put Palmer if
No, actually, wait now, can we talk about this?
Go.
Yeah, now,
There you
though.
go, ran through it.
Yeah, but I just wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, go.
This.
Go.
How does Liam Scales get booked for somebody flying into his leg?
I don't know.
Right, when 2 seconds before that, the Celtic player gets absolutely wiped out.
Because we play in Scotland.
Come on, cut. I was bewildered. He smashed him, no won the ball, and then Liam Scales has been jumped into and been booked. And then not only that, this one's a bit controversial. Now, there must
This
be
is
a
the
rule.
Livingston game, by the way.
The Livingston game. There must be a rule that says it. Is Rio Hatate's chance not a goal scoring opportunity?
As
Right, so why isn't it a red card then?
because we play in Scotland. Why are you?
No, but I heard somebody saying it couldn't be a red card and a penalty. Somebody they say it can't be. Somebody said there's a rule that it can't be. I don't know, right? Honestly, weird. But I was just one that I was thinking about. How does was it Scales or was it Lagerbielke? Who's the one that somebody flies into?
Scales is
Scales the biggest book. Aye, because they thought we booked
Aye,
Cam McGregor. And it wasn't Cam. Honestly, what a mess. And if you look at last night, the refereeing decisions, poor
We
Livingston.
didn't play last night.
Poor Livingston. What is happening in Scottish football? Get me out. I can't do it. The only good thing about the European is the European referees. And then the last couple of European referees we've had have been absolutely abysmal anyway.
Aye, the fight. Remember the Real Madrid one?
Oh, I don't, man. Some people say she's still
Wait a
giving
minute.
away penalties for
Wait a
her.
minute, it's one.
30.
Do you want to go over anything else? Do you line up
I'm
for
just,
the weekend?
I'm just enjoying talking
Good.
about this. Right, okay. I don't know. It's just the same lineup as usual. Same back four apart from.
If you could pick, right? If you could pick so far, this is a question, right? Because obviously we've not really touched on transfers, right? We'll touch on this and we'll go.
Transfers, I like.
We'll touch on this and we'll go, right?
The biggest transfer.
Top 3 transfers. And who you think the biggest flop will be? I know obviously we're only a month after. Who's
biggest flop? Quan.
Yeah, no, this is something actually. Him and Tillio played against Ayr or something in the B team.
Right, okay.
They both played for the B team. So Quan's your biggest flop. And I might be different to you.
Has there actually been 3 successful transfers? Right, okay.
I think there's one I can name that will be good.
Well, Bernardo's going to be good, but I've not seen enough of him to say, well, he's brilliant.
Right, okay.
I don't think I've seen enough of him. I don't think I've been overly impressed with anybody.
It's bad, isn't it? And
out of all of them, I don't think there's one that goes to, he's been brilliant.
I think if I'm probably the biggest flop's going to either be Keon that I agree with or Phillips. I think because Phillips can go one or two ways.
No, Phillips will be good.
If we're paying him all this
money, you're
money,
saying he's going to be better.
If we pay him all this money and he's only here for 6 months and he rolls his ankle every 3 weeks, mate, he's a flop.
Aye, fair enough. True.
So then. My 3 that I'm impressed with,
Right,
I wouldn't say that they've been amazing, but I've been impressed with. Naroki, I was really impressed with.
Naroki, right, aye.
Before he got
injured. I kind of forgot Naroki existed because he played like twice.
Because he played the first game with Carter Vickers and the Starfelt game on, was it? Yeah, Starfelt came on and then that was it. We kind of realised Starfelt was away and then he played at Aberdeen, they'd done well.
Yeah, and then that's the game he got injured, wasn't it?
No, it was Kelly.
Kelly again.
So Naroki I'm really pleased with. I think Naroki looks someone that we can definitely all get behind.
If he ever gets fit.
Paolo Bernardo.
I said that's them.
And then the third one that gets in by a push is Palmer, but he needs to stop being so greedy. He is right. There is glimpses.
There's a player there, and then there's glimpses of he's got no final pro.
But this is the thing. The final chance will never. The one that Kyogo kind of makes the keeper panic, the keeper gives the ball straight to him. See that moment, you either cut it to Maeda or you take a shot, and he took too many touches and the whole defence came back. I know. So
look, but you have to understand he came from Portugal, didn't he?
Oh, Greece.
Greece. Came from Europe somewhere, right? And even Greece, Portugal, even places like that, all very different styles of football. And you've played against these teams, but you've not really played against teams of maybe this quality. I know you played in Europe with he was at in Greece, but
Aries was it or something?
However they were called, I don't know.
It was going from corners and that and free kicks, so there's something about him.
Well, I know, but look, it's maybe now you would hate to have this old chestnut. That's maybe the saying. This old chestnut.
Not the end of the day.
The end of the day, this old chestnut in Scottish football. Sometimes players take months to fit in and to get used to it, and that's not something you want to see.
I think we were really fortunate when we did. Last time go through a sort of change with Ange. Jota hit the ground running, Abada hit the ground running,
Kyogo hit the ground running, Hatate came in and he hit the ground running even though he played like 10 months. Maeda hit ground running. Look, we were kind of lucky there. Now I think we're maybe seeing the opposite with a couple of the guys that have come in that just can't cut it for one reason or another. No, because they're maybe no good enough quality players. I think Yang, look.
Go.
Right, so Yang, you watch his highlights and you can see there's something there. He's no the worst. He's got a footballing brain. He knows that he can make passes and score goals, right? The problem, as I've said it last week, you're going playing against absolute diddies who are still in university to playing against other diddies who are maybe a wee bit better. But the problem is if you can't cut it in Scottish Premiership, and you're not going to be playing the Champions.
But the thing with Yang is he takes too long to release the ball.
Because he's trying to do all this flashy stuff and stuff.
Just release the ball. We've got a striker in there who'll score, and if he misses his opportunity, it'll fall to you and you can get
take on the man and get the ball in. Right, look, and we need that for Lewis Palmer as well. What we need for Lewis Palmer is we're missing. Now we said this is at the start of the season. We said, look, we're not going to be missing too much. We've not lost too many big players. We lost 2. 3 Aaron Moy, right? Aaron Moy, Carol Starfelt, Jota. But what you lost with Jota was about 15 assists.
And 15 goals in the last year.
Goals. So that's what you've lost. And have we replaced it?
No.
Well, you think you would have with Lewis Palmer.
No, you think you would have. You hopefully have.
You hopefully, but we and so far we've
another one that we forgot.
And you know who would have replaced it? Daniel Podence.
And yeah, but hold on, he's not good enough apparently. That'll do, I think. With 40 minutes.
Nah, 35.
35?
If you want to talk about it.
I will quickly touch on some stuff.
We don't need to go for 40 minutes.
We'll round up
We'll
then.
round up, yeah.
Everyone who's watching, we just want to make sure you're all subscribed. Thank you. We're at 86.
86.
Let's get to 100. Come on. It's obviously been a long, hard push.
It's hard on YouTube to grow.
It's hard on YouTube. I think TikTok's where we're thriving.
Yeah,
After you do all the clips and all that,
when
we're
I
doing
upload
well.
clips, we're
doing well.
But I think we get good engagement in TikTok. We're up to nearly, I think we're nearly at 1,000.
So if Jack ends up scrapping me on TikTok, it's not me.
I'll argue everything. I'll argue with no matter. You could say
black's black, white's white.
You could say that Brendan's a Celtic man. I'd say he's not a Celtic man.
He's got a plan. He's got cans.
But honestly, did you see Brendan Rodgers saving that wee guy? I think that was a planned thing. Sleep the shield.
Wait, man, just come
in, mate. I'll save you. Never to love me again. He's giving it that and that. No, but I think people are starting to warm up to him more right now because we can start to see what he's actually trying and. He's got the cans. He's got a plan. And look,
do you think his plan will We'll give this to him. That will do.
Yeah,
right? Do you think his plan will work on Wednesday?
Yes.
What do you think the score will be?
Yes. 1-0.
1-0.
But here's my thing. Look, here's my thing, Kyogo. But here's my thing, right? I think it'll work because I think even though we lost 3-0 to Feyenoord, 2-0. Sorry.
I know they scored about 5.
I'm all over the place. I'm all over thinking we won 3-0. I'm all over the place, right? They did score about 5 and it was all over the place. I seen in that first half, I seen an actual Celtic team that went out there and challenged. And we obviously that initial 15-20 minutes where we were dodgy, you're always going to have that. But then after that, we were actually moving the ball about pretty nicely. And we moved the ball out wide and look, we were like, oh, we could have scored there. We could have, and the chances weren't there. We only take the chances correctly, but we were moving the ball not too bad. And for a moment, for 5 minutes of that half, it felt like being back to last year, where we were actually we looked like we could have scored in Europe. And at that time, I thought, well, you know what? And the defending actually wasn't that bad.
So the
defending wasn't bad. We were dealing with the balls pretty well. We were dealing with the balls through, apart from over the top. We were dealing with things all right. And then we done the same thing we done against the Rangers at at Celtic Park. We slid in on the edge of the box. Well, there's no need to slide in on the edge of the box, and we gave away a free kick. And the boy they've got that takes the free kicks, what is his name again?
Calvin Stein.
He's a good player, you know what I mean? There's talk about him going bigger places in his career. And you're giving a guy who's a good set piece taker a chance. And why are we giving away chances that we don't need to give away? And ever since then it goes downhill. And even the second half, you look I went in the second half 1-0 down, we went to the shop at half time, I went, that isn't actually the worst situation. I think we can come out in this second half. If we play the way we played in the first half, we're either going to lose 1-0 or we could get a chance and score. And then panic ensued, red cards, goals, offside goals. The referee was doing cartwheels at one point. And that was it. But look, at the end of the day, I think honestly, look, we play Wednesday against Lazio. We'll be there. And for once, I'm not going into it, and I'm not going, damn, I'm really worried.
I think it'll be 2-1.
7-0 Lazio.
2-1. I think there's no better time to play them. They're struggling. Sarri's been hunted a wee bit. I think if he loses to Celtic, he'll definitely be a job.
But the best thing though, probably this is with Feyenoord, they're sitting saying when they were playing us.
No, but
they probably watched us draw to St Johnstone, they watched us lose to Kilmarnock, and they were like, probably no better time to play Celtic.
And that's why they got us up.
That's why they got us up.
So no, there's probably no better time to play Lazio. Before we go, I'd like to give a big shout out to Gordon and Craig, who are enjoying the episodes. My friends from Wales who travel up every week.
Thank you very much for
they're
watching.
They're enjoying it. They're probably the big fans of your admiration for the man Henrik Larsson. He's a big fan of that shirt.
Oh, we all love Henrik Larsson. My love for Henrik Larsson isn't the only person who's got love for Henrik Larsson, but my love for Bhoys Kawasi now that's a one man job.
So my question to you is obviously Jack's away for the Kilmarnock game. You're away down in
I'm away at London.
Will we get a roundup of we've got Thursday, Friday and Saturday, but we get a roundup of the Lazio and the Motherwell game before you go into London?
I'm only away to London, I'm only away for like 3 days. But we will.
We'll get a roundup and get an episode of it.
I say we do it that night.
Good.
I say we just come back here after the game, do it.
After the Lazio game?
After the Lazio game. May as well if you're not too steaming. So that tells them, no, see you're not going to drink, you're not going to steaming. Don't
Lloyd
get
4.
Stephen.
Lloyd 4.
4. Aye, before it'll be lying in the table.
Here, if we win, I'll be bringing a carry.
No, I just want to invite you all. We actually could do that. Drunk Stephen. I want to invite you all to the Abu Kwasi Wednesday supporters club. It's only me so far. Chris doesn't even come. No, I'm kidding.
I don't come.
But look. I think you've got a good point here. We all get a round up. I'm away to watch the NFL. I'm an NFL fan. Ooh. But and you don't want to know the team I support because they wear weird colours that you wouldn't like. But look,
begin with a B, don't they? Because I can't remember. Someone asked me where's Jack, and I'm like, he's away watching.
It's the Bills and they wear blue, red and white. Look, but that has nothing to do with here. This is Celtic. But look, we are buzzing for the weekend because it's going to be a good game. We're buzzing for just wait till that Champions League anthem plays at Celtic. I want you to upload a video to TikTok.
What?
Or do you want me to do it?
Of what?
I'll do it. To TikTok and Twitter of that Champions League anthem because it's back and the lights. See the lights? How much we paid? £5 million. I like to see them swoosh, spinning.
You do it, because you'll be sober, you'll be driving.
I don't know, I'm not sure yet, to be honest.
You got a drink?
I don't know if I'm going to drink, but I might not be driving.
Yes.
Because Wednesday, we'll see how it goes.
9 carry-outs.
Right, 9 carry-outs.
Get a carry-out
I
in if we win.
Sneak one into the game. Baby, and fun down the stairs and that. Paolo, it's you. But look, honestly, in all honesty, Celtic have got a very vital wee bit coming up, a wee stent, right? We've got another away game at the weekend. We've got a couple of, like Brendan said, there was a good interview with Brendan Rodgers where he goes, aye, it's been a good couple of away wins, but apparently we're in crisis. Which is a true point. A lot of people have been saying, look, we're in crisis. We've went to Aberdeen, we've went to Pittodrie, we've went to Ibrox, we've went to Livingston, and now we're going to go to Motherwell. And I know that Motherwell and Livingston are the hardest places to go. You've still got places like Tynecastle, and you've still got places like Easter Road. But to get these games out of the way now,
they always are hard for us. We always
struggle. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying like we're not heading to the Camp Nou. We've not get Lewandowski play against us.
It's so stupid, innit? We're up against Bruce Anderson, and you're sitting in.
And you're like, oh, going to be a tough game here.
So
but look, right. At the end of the day, look, you've got them out the way, and at the end of the day, we're going now moving into. I think we move into a couple of home games on the trot. Or do we? Or
no, you've got Easter Road coming up at the end of October.
But then we'll head into a couple of home games eventually, right?
I'll get them up there.
And then see when it comes into the couple of home games, I'd come in, but I've been told I'm not allowed my phone.
No, you're not allowed.
Banned, mate. So when we come up to the home games, look, then you look and you think, see if we've actually took all these points for the away games, other teams are going into.
We're obviously away at the weekend. Then we've got October, you're away. Then we're away at Tynecastle. Then we're away at Easter Road.
No, we missed the.
What one?
What game did we miss?
So then we're home.
No, we're there.
Home against St Mirren will be there. We're away to Dingwall.
We're going to that game.
This one we're in.
That's Aberdeen.
We're in holiday mode.
So we're away because we're away to watch Celtic in Madrid.
We'll make a week of it.
The way it's turned out, we wanted to do all 3 of the games. So Ross County, Madrid, Aberdeen. But the way it's worked out with the flights and stuff, we're going to miss the Aberdeen game.
Right, and then you've got a sort of break for 2 weeks because I think it's probably semi-final.
So and then we've only got how many games before? Geez, only about two or three games before the.
Before what?
Before the we miss.
So you've got Celtic Aberdeen, then Celtic Motherwell at home. Then in December, it'll be busier now. So you're 6th of December, you're at home against Hibs. 9th of December, we're away to Killie. 16th at home against Hearts. 23rd of December at home against Livy.
Oh no.
27th away to Dundee. 30th obviously got Rangers in December, and then we're away to Paisley, and then that's us for the winter break.
30th of December, man. I was still being Christmas mode off my Santa hat on.
Good.
That.
We're away in the town.
Oh, Celtic Santa hats. Finn's getting Celtic Santa hats.
I've got 2.
You've got 2 Celtic Santa hats?
2.
There we go. Brilliant. We'll be sorted.
I've got 2. They'll be dug out. Right, that'll do us. That's us.
Yep, that's us. I mean, I think that's it. Covered everything. Thank you very much for watching. It's greatly appreciated. If you enjoy us shouting at each other,
subscribe. Get to 100. Let's get to 100.
Yeah, let's get 100. I'll be so happy with 100. I think that's us. Thank you very much. Hail, hail.
Hail, hail, guys.
I believe that we will win.
Let's just keep that recording.
Huh?
Let's keep that recording.
Brendan Rodgers.